Welcome to our journey through the history of philosophy. 5 eras, thousands of years, and countless ideas that shaped how we think today. Before we study each era deeper, let's first understand the big picture. What are the major periods of philosophy, and what makes each one unique? Let's break them down. Ancient philosophy covers the earliest recorded attempts to explain the world using reason instead of myth. This era began with the pre-Socratic thinkers, people who asked what the universe is made of, what change means, and what reality truly is. Then came the giants, Socrates, who taught us to question everything, Plato, who imagined a world of perfect forms, and Aristotle, who systematized logic, ethics, and science. Search for the first principles of reality. Rise of rational explanations instead of myth. Birth of ethics, logic, and political philosophy. Emphasis on virtue and the good life. Ancient philosophy is the foundation. It's where almost every philosophical question begins. When the ancient world faded, the medieval era brought philosophy into conversation with religion. The big question became, how can human reason and divine revelation work together? Thinkers like Augustine, Anselm, and Thomas Aquinas explored the nature of God, morality, and the soul, using philosophy as a tool to understand faith more deeply. Characteristics of the medieval era: integration of the philosophy with theology, focus on God, creation, and the soul, use of logic to explain religious doctrines, development of scholasticism, rigorous argumentation. This era shows that philosophy isn't just about reason alone. It can also respond to humanity's spiritual search. The Renaissance marked a turning point. After centuries dominated by religious thought, philosophy returned to the human world. Humanism rose, an idea that humans can study, understand, and shape their own lives. Scholars revisited ancient texts, revived classical learning, and pushed for intellectual freedom. Thinkers like Machiavelli, Erasmus, and Francis Bacon questioned authority, emphasized empirical observation, and celebrated human creativity. Characteristics of the Renaissance era: humanism and the focus on human potential, revival of classical Greek and Roman thinking, growth of science and empirical methods, critical thinking toward institutions and authority. This era reopened the door for curiosity and prepared the world for modern science and politics. The Enlightenment pushed intellectual freedom even further. Philosophers believed rational thought could improve society, government, and human rights. Descartes questioned everything except the fact that he was thinking. Locke argued for natural rights, ideas that shaped modern democracies, and Kant challenged us to use our reason without relying blindly on others. Characteristics of the Enlightenment era: priority of reason and scientific thinking, ideas of liberty, equality, and individual rights, critique of tradition and superstition, foundations of modern democratic and scientific institutions. The Enlightenment didn't just change ideas, it changed revolutions, constitutions, and the modern world. Contemporary philosophy begins in the 19th and 20th centuries and continues today. This era explores issues of meaning, freedom, identity, technology, power, and culture. Existentialists like Sartre asked what it means to be free. Foucault explored how power shapes human life. Analytic philosophers refined logic and language. Ethicists wrestled with dilemmas created by science and technology. Characteristics of the contemporary era. Diversity of schools. Existentialism, postmodernism, analytic philosophy, pragmatism focus on human experience, society, and language. Questions about identity, freedom, and knowledge. Ethical issues in technology, politics, and modern life. This is philosophy today, messy, complex, and deeply connected to our world.